Hey everybody, I'm Kyle, and we have Ethan and Jeffrey in his first comment response video.
Hey.
Hi. Last week's video was Avatar, the Avatar one. And these are the comments. From, I can actually barely see everybody's name on here anymore because the ink is blurred. We've been filming out in the rain, and so this is our paper.
Don't forget the cold.
Oh yeah.
Also the cold,
It's
rain and the cold.
significantly wet and cold.
From the Flash Gamer HD, I think. You should put this kind of stuff on a second channel. We actually had this comment earlier, and we've answered this question on a previous comment response. The reason we haven't personally decided to put them on a separate channel yet is just because we don't have that many subscribers, and so I figured, we wouldn't get that many views on it.
Oh, was that a response to a comment response?
It was to the comment response,
Okay, I
yeah.
thought it was to the Avatar.
Not to the Avatar video, sorry, yeah, that was confusing. If you'd like us to do that, let us know. If you wouldn't like us to do that, also let us know. Like, we'll do whatever you guys want us to do in that regard. If if you don't like it clogging up your YouTube news feed or anything and would like us to move it to another channel, that's perfectly fine.
By declarations, this was an excuse to make a bunch of effects, and I am totally okay with it.
Yes, it was. It pretty much was. I think it turned out really well. Like, in terms of technical quality, JP's music was excellent. All of the effects turned out really good, and I was very happy with that. We also kind of did it as an excuse to, or I did it as an excuse to show off my martial arts that I've been learning. That was the main point of it.
You nerd.
That's where I came out. That's the whole reason I did it in the first place.
That's the third one.
But the actual story, like, it didn't go huge or anything.
There wasn't really a
because
story.
there really wasn't a story to it. It was just kind of a fight. But it was fun. Like, we definitely had fun making it and learned a lot from doing it.
From Chaotic Arrow. As a major Avatar nerd, I love this. Those effects were pretty damn good, too. Poor Ian, though. Always getting abused. Well, the fact is that he's usually the abuser, so it's fine.
We kind of have a weird thing. I've noticed everybody sort of, like, has accidentally fallen into really weird typecasts.
Yeah.
Like, Ian is always, like, the strangely creepy guy. Like, the Russian guy, or, like, the one in the Christmas video. Jeffrey's always the totally normal person, for some reason.
Which is weird.
I'm
Yeah.
totally normal in real life.
Ethan's, you don't really have a type, I guess.
I always die
You
immediately.
do get
or
hurt in all of them.
No, I either die immediately, have no lines, or get punched.
I mean, we all get punched in the face and shot in our videos. That's what happens in our videos. From Firemaster Steve. That was amazing. I just can't help but wonder what you guys looked like without the special effects. Plus, it would be cool if you did a behind-the-scenes video to go along with your skits. We haven't really had too much time to do behind-the-scenes, is the main reason we haven't been doing them, but we actually do have footage from a lot of the videos. So at some point, I'll go back and do some
You
behind-the-scenes
could have
videos.
a behind-the-scenes of Palooza, just like...
I could, yeah. At some point, I'll try to do that.
Ferks. By Ferks. The Earthbenders had to sit this one out. Nice technique, though. Avatar White Lightning Folk.
I think earthbending would have been harder to do,
Well,
probably.
you'd have thrown rocks at each other.
Because he would, well, maybe it would have been way easier to do. Yeah. For the airbending ones, we actually had a leaf blower off shot like the entire time.
Just...
Because that's how it had to work. Because the air doesn't have any substance to it, so it's like you had to. We were like, you got to be. It's about the reaction from it. So yeah, we just had somebody off screen with a leaf blower, just like holding it right in someone's face, which is why Ian's hair blows around or something when he gets hit.
I think it's Gavin Goodman.
Sounds like it.
He says, still a better movie than The Last Airbender. But that doesn't set the bar very high. So.
I really only wanted that comment. I knew someone was gonna leave it.
I'm
Good
glad
job
someone
being that
did.
guy. From Yad Jomur.
Yeah,
I still don't know how to pronounce your name. Who was that old matey at the end? That was my dad. We were gonna have Eric, our camera guy, do it, and then my dad pulled in, and we were like, Dad.
From... Oh, man, I can actually read this one. From Sebi McWester. Dude, that was amazing. The fight was actually very well choreographed.
Choreographed.
How long did it take you to make this? Question mark.
The shooting took a full day, probably, of sunburn and pain. And the effects took like 3 weeks, like solid, and I'm really glad to be done with those. We're only going to do something like that every now and then because it would just take up too much time. But thank you. I'm glad you thought it was choreographed well. I think the pacing could have been a little bit faster. There's an art to doing action scenes, and we haven't done them very much. And so there were some parts that I thought there was a little bit too much of a lag. But yeah, thanks.
From Nessier Games. Did I pronounce that right?
Nazar Games.
Nasser Games?
Nazar.
He's one of the... He was actually... He was in the last comment response
I know,
video.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Okay.
Well, he was in the comment response, right?
Yeah, this last week's I did. I had people from the Patreon page like Skype in or use Google
didn't
Hangouts
see that
and
one,
be
I
on the
guess.
screen.
The end effect came out really well. Congratulations on another great sketch.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thanks.
he saw it in progress because he was in our meetup.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I keep on thinking about that model. It freaks me out a little bit.
It was the way we did that was with a digital stunt double. I learned from watching Corridor Digital. Actually, I scanned Ian into the computer using my Kinect. There's a software that you can scan in 3D models of people using the Kinect, and so we scanned in a model of him. I took pictures of him and used it to texture it, and then I turned it into a ragdoll and just threw it at a wall, and then just exported that and then composited it into the scene, and it turned out really good. But the actual model looks really weird when it's just standing still, and I'll put a screen of it right here just so you can see. It's pretty great. I need to find reasons just to use that in future videos. All right, and last from L Luck. I wonder what their actual neighbors must think.
I think they're used to it at this point.
I don't really know.
The thing that we just filmed, we were out and filming this video, and I'm dressed up as a peasant, and Jeffrey's dressed up as a wizard. And these 3 or 4 guys come jogging by, and they say, "Hey, what's up?" And we're like, "Hey." And I just completely lose it like 50 seconds after they run by, because I'm like, imagine if you're jogging through the woods and you meet a wizard manhandling a peasant. Like,
it's pretty great.
And Kyle said, "See, we're not the only crazy people out there, and I think we're more crazy than they are because they're getting exercise."
There wasn't any good reason for any of us to be out there. It's the worst weather.
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mentioned last week that we were going to talk about our future plans for videos in this episode, actually. So we just kind of discussed it a little bit. We just had this huge list of all this random stuff that we were working through, but now we don't, and so we can make it a little bit more consistent and a little bit more on the fly. So that means we can take your suggestions more, and I have been reading like every suggestion you guys leave, even if I haven't responded to it. I've written it down in a book. I think we're going to be doing games that have actually come out and been more are popular right now. So if you guys want help, you can leave suggestions for games that are gaining popularity or that you like playing with your friends. Independent titles are always great because a lot of times the publisher of the game will see the video and like it and kind of spread it around a little bit more. Big AAA titles we probably won't do quite as much because we have to buy them to play them, and they're just kind of too easy actually. Like AAA games, like they're all just sort of the same thing and they all have the same problems in them. So
I guess also like
independent games are quirkier, and
the developer of a AAA game wouldn't want to spread our thing.
Usually that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
We've figured out what we're good at, how to do all these different things. We've gotten pretty good at effects. We've got new equipment. We're working towards getting a new camera. So we want to try to start getting some more new people in now because we've sort of flatlined a little bit over the last month. I think the last few weeks it's just kind of stayed the same subscriber wise, which is good. I mean, we haven't lost any subscribers, so we'll keep you updated on what's going on. See you next Friday.